The polls putting Ted Cruz ahead in Wisconsin, but you cannot count Trump out. Even if he loses in Wisconsin, being Trump, he's already well ahead in New York, the next big state to hold a primary. 95 delegates at stake on April 19. And Trump is expected to do well 1 week after that, with 5 more states in the Northeast. Chief White House correspondent Ed Henry, live in New York City, a memo leaking that may spell new trouble for Trump. Who wrote it? Who did it come from, Ed?
Well, Bill, it's from Barry Bennett. You remember he used to help run Ben Carson's campaign, now advising Trump. Writes a memo to Corey Lewandowski, the campaign manager for Trump, and others in the inner circle, lashing out at the media for last week, dubbing it Trump's worst week. This memo saying in part, quote, yet another pathetic display by the so-called experts who line their pockets at the expense of our candidates and causes. During the week they labeled the worst week ever, we increased our support by over 15%. Why is the question they cannot grasp. America is sick of them, their idiotic attacks. Just remind voters why they hate the Washington establishment. So on one hand, this could backfire, obviously make the media even tougher, perhaps on Trump, all of this back and forth we've seen. But on the other hand, remember, this is kind of a tried and true tested formula where you attack the media, blame the messenger, and maybe the Trump people, by getting this memo out there, fire up their own troops going into Wisconsin. And then, as you say, New York on April 19th. Ted Cruz fighting hard in Wisconsin, up 10, as you noted. John Kasich already looking ahead here to New York. April 19th primary. He has a town hall meeting in a little while at Hofstra University, Bill. Okay, so Hillary Clinton, right? She's back in New York for more events ahead of Wisconsin. What's moving there in that campaign, Ed? Well, she's down in Wisconsin, already looking ahead to New York as well. Spent 3 days here last week, as you recall. Now at least 2 more days this week. And the point is that Bernie Sanders has money, raised $44 million in March, has some momentum, winning 6 of 7 contests. Clinton is trying to explain, though, she still has that big delegate lead, though Sanders is suggesting she's getting a little nervous about New York. Watch.
I ran a really tough campaign against then Senator Obama. I ended up with slightly more votes, but he ended up with more delegates. So we have a system, and I'm very confident that I will be the nominee, but I'm not taking anything or any place or anyone for granted.
Even if you don't win New York?
Oh, I'm absolutely confident I will be the nominee.
My response is I think the secretary is getting very nervous. That poll after poll shows us doing much better against Trump than she is.
Clinton also saying she has not been contacted by the FBI yet, but she's willing to talk. That investigation still hanging out there, Bill.
Thank you, Ed. Ed Henry in New York today.